What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. WBO middleweight champion Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade from Rhode Island puts his WBO title on the line, puts it at risk versus number one and mandatory contender in the WBO, UK's own Liam Williams. Now, when this fight was first announced, I was like, wasn't too excited about it. I was like, I would much rather see Demetrius Andrade take on WBC champion Jamal Lions Only Charlo. Would much rather see Demetrius Andrade take on Triple G, the IBF middleweight champion. Would much rather see Demetrius Andrade take on Murata, who holds, if I'm not mistaken, the WBA middleweight title, or a version of the WBA middleweight title. I would much rather see him fight either one of those guys than Liam Williams, but after watching Liam Williams, I started thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, I did see him. I watched him when he fought Alante Fox. And this guy here is a tough fighter, man. He's a good fighter. He's a guy that's going to turn the heat up on you. He's going to turn the heat up on you in the kitchen. he going to turn the heat up on you. You know, you have to be at an elite level or a very high level to beat him. I don't think he's a great fighter. He's a solid fighter. But he kind of reminds me of in a roundabout way of Sean Porter. I ain't saying he's good as Sean Porter. He's especially not as athletic as Sean Porter, and he can't change styles like Sean Porter can do. Sean Porter can be like a tank and try to run over you and bulldoze you, or he can fight on the outside and box you. He's shown that in his last 2 to 3 fights. And Liam Williams has shown a little bit of that, but against much lesser competition. But he just doesn't have the athleticism as a Sean Showtime Porter. That's neither here nor there, but he's a guy he's a tester. He's gonna test where you at, where Demetrius Andrade is at this point of his career, because he hasn't been fighting a lot recently. Very inactive. I think when he steps in the ring tonight, it'll be 14 months since his last fight. So he has been very inactive. And you look at his last couple of fights against Keeler and even to a Saluki to a certain degree. He fought a much more offensive style of fighting than he usually fight. You know, he can fight like he usually fight. That got him to this level as far as standing on the outside, controlling distance, setting up the jab with the right hand and setting up that straight left hand to the body. He does a good job of disguising the left hand. You don't know if he's going up top or he's going to the body. He's has very good disguise. He has very good sense of distance. And he has great footwork. And if he fights that style of fights, it was a boring style. That's one of the reasons why he's been unable to land high-profile fights, because people don't like to fight that style. It's like which is the classic high-risk, low-reward type of fight. You're not going to get a huge payday fighting him, and then you're going to risk a chance of sticking out the joint in a very non-crowd-pleasing type of fight that Demetrius Andrade fights. He's very effective in doing that. I'm a pure boxer, and I love the sweet science. So I love Floyd Mayweather style of fight. I love Muhammad Ali style of fight. I love the pure boxers, Sugar Ray Leonard's, even Thomas Hitman Hearns to a degree, even though he's much more offensive minded. I love those guys. Bernard Hopkins, I love the sweet science, the technicians of the ring. But he seems to be a much more offensive minded fighter, much more in the pocket, much more willing to go get on the inside and get his shots off, which he showed in the Keeler fight. That was during Super Bowl weekend in Miami, Florida. That was a real good, exciting fight. If you want to look at Demetrius Andrade's most exciting fights, that would probably be at the top of the list, the fight between Andrade and Keeler. Now, if he fights that style of fight against Liam Williams is going to have some opportunities. He's going to have some chances to get some shots off. He's going to be able to a chance to hit Demetrius Andrade with his signature punch, which is that right hand. He has a very short, compact right hand. And he has a good left hook to the body. He's just a guy that throws a lot of short, quick, accurate shots. He got a good chopping right hand, too. The guy's got power, man. He's got pop in his punches. And if Demetrius Andrade fight like he fought against Keeler, it's going to be an exciting fight. I still think Andrade probably can win that style of fight, but he'll be taking a chance fighting that style, and he'll be giving Liam Williams his best opportunity to land his power shots and test Demetrius Andrade's chin. But I watched pretty much all of Demetrius Andrade fights, and I haven't never remember the opportunity where he's even been hurt. I haven't never seen him with his knees buckled. But like again, he's fought the style that's a very safety first style of fighting. He just had a hard time with anybody landing any clean shots on him. Now in the Keeler fight, Keeler just didn't have the tools in the toolbox. He gave Keeler much more opportunities to land his shots, but maybe he felt a couple of shots by Keeler early and knew Keeler couldn't hurt him, and that's one of the reasons why he went more offensive minded. Maybe he doesn't do that with a guy that got popped like Liam Williams does. Maybe he goes back to the safety first style of fight. If he does that, he'll win a unanimous decision. But if he fights like he fought against if he fights like he fought against Mike Keeler, I think that's his name, Keeler. This gonna be a barn burner. It's gonna be good. This could be Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran 1. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a good fight if he fights that style. So it's all about what style of fighting he's gonna fight. Maybe he mixes it up. Maybe he does a little bit of boxing on the outside, and then once he softens Liam Williams up, then maybe he goes in for the kill and be a little bit more offensive minded. That's what I probably advise him to do. But it seems the war words between those two has kind of got Demetrius Andrade saying that he in a mindset, in my opinion, for his body language and what he's been doing at the post-fight, up at the weigh-in, when he interviewed him at the weigh-in, after the weigh-in and after the stare-down, when Liam Williams grabbed his hair and he pushed Liam Williams, he told the DAZN announcer that he was ready to go to war. So when you say you're ready to go to war, I mean, you're not going to go out there on your, trying to dance and stay on the outside and, and be technical. You're going to be wanting to get into the firefight. Look like to me, that's what he's saying. He want to get into a firefight, just like he did in the Mike Keeler fight. So if he does that, then that's going to be a very good and very exciting fight, man. He's going to give Liam Williams his opportunity. So we'll see what happens, and we will damn sure see what transpires. But the key to the fight as far as Andrade, I told you what style of fighting both guys need to fight. I think what Andrade needs to fight, and I'll get to Liam Williams here in a second, but he needs to really use that jab, Demetrius Andrade. He needs to use that jab, use the right jab in control distance, and basically pot shot on the outside. Anytime Liam Williams tries to close the distance, he takes a couple of steps back and just basically control range. He's a much longer guy, a much more athletic guy, and he's got the reach and he's got all the physical attributes over Liam Williams outside of power. Now, Demetrius Andrade is not a power puncher, but he's got respectable power. He's got enough power to keep you honest. And he even shown that when he was dissecting and, piecing up guys early in his career with his high level boxing ability. So I think that remains to be seen. Can he or will he implement that game plan versus Liam Williams? Now, Liam Williams, obviously being a shorter guy with the shorter reach, has definitely got to get inside and make this a phone booth fight. Go inside, tack the body, try to slow down, and hopefully wear down Demetrius Andrade. Slow those wheels down. He definitely got the wheels to move around and stay out of harm's way, but you got to go to the body and slowly but surely take that away. And that's what Liam Williams will be looking to do. Liam Williams, again, will be, like I said earlier in this video, he'll be looking to set up his power shots, and that's the right hand. He's got a good left hook to the body, too, and a good left hook up top. But he's a guy that throws a lot of punches. And he seems to catch his guys with punches that they don't see. He does a good job of, even when you got him clenched, you grabbing on him, and you in close quarter, and you grabbing on him, he's got a very good knack of getting his hands free, especially the right hand free, and coming over your clinch and come over the top with a chopping right hand and just catch you while you're trying to clinch. So he did a good job with that with Atlanta Fox, who was trying to hold, but he was able to get through the clinch and come over the top with chopping right hands. And that's what he'll be looking to do with Demetrius Andrade. When Demetrius Andrade tries to cover up, tries to grab, if he does do that, he'll be looking to use that same thing he did with Atlanta Fox and come over the top with chopping right hands. Now, Demetrius Andrade hasn't shown to be a guy that does a lot of grabbing, a lot of clinching. He's very comfortable inside, as he showed in the Cleveland fight. He was inside with that guy banging with him, and he didn't seem to do any kind of grabbing, but he had Kilo on the ropes for the most part. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Liam Williams is able to back him up and have him on the ropes. Will he start to try to grab and tie him up and try to get him and push him more toward the middle of the ring? And in the midst of doing that, will Liam Williams do what he did to several opponents, including Atlanta Fox, and that's to be able to break loose from the clinch and come over the top with chopping right hands. So we'll see how that plays out in this fight tonight. But this is a very intriguing matchup. This is obviously the best opponent that Liam Williams has fought by miles. Guys he's fought has not been great names, but Sometimes you can look at a guy fight, even though he's fighting less competition, you can say, oh, this dude is a solid fight. He's a good fighter. He's got some tools in the toolbox. That's what I see with Liam Williams. But he hasn't fought the guy at the level of Demetrius Andrade. Now, Demetrius Andrade is a guy that's skill-wise is at the top of the heap in the boxing, period. There ain't too many guys that have more skills than Demetrius Andrade. I can't name no more than one or two. Maybe Terrence Bud Crawford's on this level. Errol Spence Jr. There's very few that's on this level as far as technical capability. Guys, Canelo Alvarez is on there, but Canelo Alvarez doesn't have this. They have the footwork that Demetrius Andrade have, or Terrence Crawford, or even Errol Spence Jr., who's very fundamentally sound with his footwork. Not as fast as Terrence Crawford or Demetrius Andrade, but the most fundamentally sound footwork I've seen in boxing in a long time, that being Errol Spence Jr. I don't think... So that's neither here nor there, man. So we'll see how it plays out. But this is what I think is going to happen in this fight. I think Demetrius Andrade is going to maybe test Liam Williams early. Try to go into a firefight. But I think Liam Williams will land some shots and make Demetrius Andrade go back to the basics. Go back to what he did when he was looked upon as one of the best technical fighters in boxing. Go back to the outside and start using his jab and setting up the straight left hand to the body and to the head and basically control the fight from a distance. When Liam Williams try to close the gap, hit him with some shots, and he's got a respectable enough power to make Liam Williams not try to just rush in and just come in unannounced. Like somebody coming over to your house unannounced. I don't think Liam Williams will be doing that like he's done in previous fighters. Just coming in, not respecting his opponent's power. I think Andrade has enough power to kind of get his respect and then basically soften him up with shots to the body and up top. And then later on in the fight, around about the 10th round, I think he goes in and closes the show and get a 10th round TKO stoppage over a game and solid fighter in Liam Williams to remain the WBO middleweight champion. And after that, I think he need to get on the mic, on the zone mic, and call out Jamal Charlo for unification. Forget about Triple G because he ain't going to fight you. Forget about Murata. He ain't going to fight you. I'm hearing they're going to fight each other, Murata and Triple G. Forget about those two guys. Call out Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo's with Showtime. You're with the Zone. So it's going to definitely have to be a pay-per-view fight and a dual pay-per-view fight. You can be on the Zone pay-per-view and Showtime pay-per-view. You can set that fight up for later this year. Make it happen. That's what I want to see. Because once you take care of business with Liam Williams and Jamal Charlo takes care of business with his fight in June 19th. June 19th, he takes the fight against Juan Montiel Macias, beats him. That's a guy that knocked out Chandelier Glass Jaw Kirk Franklin. Yeah, he knocked him out. James Kirkland. I said Kirk Franklin. Jump. GT, are you with me? No, not that Kirk Franklin, but James Kirkland. When he knocked out James Kirkland, who hopefully has retired after that fight, don't ever get back in that square circle again, because he could get seriously hurt, man. That guy punch resistance is non-existence. So we'll see once Jamal Charlo take care of business with him, we can make the fight between those two guys, and that'll be a high-level fight, and the winner of that fight could stake his claim as being the number one guy in the middleweight division. Let me know your thoughts about James. Not bad. Let me know your thoughts. I got to stick my mind on James Kirkland. Let me know your thoughts on Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade versus Liam Williams. Who you like in this fight? If you like Andrade, put him down in my comment section. That you like Andrade. Do you like him by decision or would you like him by knockout? Predict the round that you think he's going to get stopped Liam Williams in. If you like Liam Williams, put him down in the comment section. If you like him by decision, put that down. If you like him by knockout or stoppage, put the round down. You think he's going to stop Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade and become the new WBO middleweight champion. Let me know your thoughts and hit the like button if you like the content of this video and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I'll holla.